Aloha and welcome everyone to day 2 of this 5-day astrological challenge. Welcome, Bibi, Anna, Patrice. I wanted to say OD for now, Odili,
OD. OD's
OD,
fine.
from all over the world. I know we have Virginia, we have Canada, I think we have Florida, I would imagine. And so, yeah, awesome, awesome. Welcome. Last night's class was incredible. I didn't sleep last night. I was so just excited and fired up. I literally was like, I can't sleep right now. So I hope you all slept well. And tonight is really, really, really exciting because it is the new moon at 8:21 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that'll be around 11 East Coast time. So what does that even mean? Well, think about it this way. You ever been to the ocean and you stood in the water with your feet in the sand and you felt the tug and the pull of the gravity, right? Just kind of anchoring you to the earth. Well, it is the moon that creates the tides, right? It creates the ocean waves. And so the cycles of the moon from new to full and from full to noon also affect our energy bodies. Yeah. So what happens when we're at a new moon? And why do I get so excited about new moons? Why do I get so excited? Nobody talks about new moons, right? They're the darkest time of the year. You can't even see the moon. Well, for thousands of years, secret societies and those in the elite classes, those that know some of the ancient mysteries, have utilized the new moon as the absolutely most powerful time to set intentions. Why? Why? It is the most fertile time because if the moon exerts such a strong influence on the water, what do you think it does to our bodies? What do you think it does to our energy system? It's a little bit like this. Let's think about the full moon for a minute and how it affects us. Imagine you're at a really loud party and there's music blaring and there's people dancing and it's like, "Woo, that's a full moon." Okay, that is the energy of the full moon. We sometimes people lose their keys and walk in circles, right? There's just all kinds of shenanigans. Children are bouncing off the walls. That's full moon energy. It's fun. It's a great time to celebrate. Now, I'm going to welcome you to the new moon time. We're going to imagine we're going to leave that wild party and we're going to walk on over to a quiet sanctuary where there's candles are lit and it's very peaceful and it's very calm and it's dark. There's candles, but it's sort of like womb-like. Okay, it's kind of restorative. And so at the new moon time, our energy goes the most internal. Another way to think about this, is our bodies are almost entirely made of water, right? It's like 80-90% water. Well, the moon exerts a gravitational pull on everything with water. Okay, even plants. So farmers have known this for years, and that's why they plant during the new moon time. Well, why do they do that? And they plant very specific things at the new moon time. Hi, coach. They plant things that go underground, like roots and fibers, because at the new moon time, the water goes down into the root system of the plants. So as the moon gets bigger and fuller, the water literally rises up to the crown and the fruit and the blossom of the tree. So the moon gets big, the water in plants, the water in humans, all waters rise upwards with the power of the moon. As the moon decreases in size, the water gets pulled and drawn down into the roots of a plant, into our internal energy system, into our core. Okay. So all the energetics conspire at the new moon time to draw you inwards to your own center, to your own voice, to the deepest, most fertile time of the year. Okay. So that's why I get so excited about new moons. And so by knowing what sign the sun will be in and what sign the moon will be in, and what other planets are around it tonight, I'm going to help to assist us in painting a picture of the energetics that this new moon time is bringing forth for all of us. So before we jump into that, I want to start with a meditative music. And this is the most ancient Sanskrit chant from India. Okay, very ancient. It's probably one of the most ancient in the world. It's called the Om Gayatri Mantra. You've probably heard of that. Yeah, I saw some. Oh yeah, I remember that one. And it relates to the Divine Mother, right? And so what is more fertile than the Divine Mother, right? What is more fertile than the divine feminine energy, right? And that is what we're going to dive into about this new moon and how the sun and the moon are aspecting Venus, the billionaire planet. So while this mantra is playing, I want to invite you to start to get into a meditative state, kind of go within and tune into what is it, right? If this is the most powerfully fertile time of the year, of the month, to set an intention, and it's being activated by Venus, the planet, the billionaire planet. And I'm going to go into the fact that it's also aspecting Jupiter, the millionaire planet, as well. And so we're literally in between the billionaire and the millionaire planet today, the sun and the moon. We are being activated to an extreme level around wealth and abundance. So if you could create any abundance or any wealth in your life, what would it be? So as I play this music, I invite you to just play with it, dance with it. Don't make it something you have to do. Just make it something you're inviting. Make it something that you're investigating. Okay. And relax, enjoy, and feel. Because as we come together in this sacred space, in this community and this container, we are amplifying and magnifying our co-creative abilities to draw in and create whatsoever it is that we wish to create. So just know that whatever your intention is, whatever you're setting, it's going to be amplified tonight, like a lot. So know that. Be clear with that. Use your intention well. Okay, everyone take a nice deep breath in. Okay, a nice deep breath out. And we will begin shortly. take a nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out. And stretch your arms up. Oh, so relaxing, so peaceful. So the Om Gayatri mantra, Om Bhurбhuva Swaha, Tat Savitu Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Demahi, Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. It is basically a prayer to Source, to God, to the infinite love and light of creation, to come through and bless our hearts, to be radiantly uplifted in the effulgence, the sparkling miracle of love. Okay? It is calling on Gayatri, the divine mother, the divine source, to come and to fill our hearts with light so that we may be uplifted, that we may step into our brilliance, that we may step into the love that we are. Wealth is truly spiritual love. Wealth, the greatest wealth, comes from Source. And so the more open we are to God's love and to being a vessel of that love to come through us, that open heart is truly a great attractor to wealth, to money, to happiness, to all the things that we seek. And so remember that as we continue on our journey, that we have already created the seed of love for this upcoming 2-week period from new moon to full moon. Think of it as a seed planting time. So this is the seed. We are setting the seed so that in 2 weeks, we will look and go, ah, yes, that is what I intended to create. Thank you. All right, my friends. So I'm going to share screen and get started on this beautiful journey. And I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful time last night. I know I did. Just absolutely wonderful. I was brought to tears several times working with you all. So grateful that you're all here. So welcome to day 2, unleashing your inner spiritual voice aligned to infinite wealth. So that's one of the things that we're doing today. Okay. And so hold on one second. Okay. I'm going to see which. All right, awesome. So here we go. Unlocking the mystery of your star map. So last night we discovered that an astrological chart is a bit like a clock, right? And there's all of these gears. And once you learn what those gears are, then you can determine a lot of really cool things. Like last night, we looked at whether or not we are more external or more internal. And how did we figure that out? Well, we looked at how many planets do we have above in our chart or below, right? So we said that if we divide the chart in half, everything above means we're more external. Everything below means more internal. Then we divided it down the center again, and we said, okay, if we have more planets on the left side, we're more individualistic, self-focused. And if we have more planets on the right side, we're more relationship focused. Fair, right? So I worked with OD, I worked with Patrice. I didn't work with Anna yet. I haven't worked with Gio yet. And so we'll come to this as we continue on. We'll go back and kind of revisit this lesson of how you can find out, are you more internal? Are you more external? Are you more individualistic or are you more relational? That way you'll know, okay, I should make plenty of time to be by myself so I can do my inner work, or I need to make more time to go out in the world because I got this energy I got to use up. Otherwise, I'm going to drive myself crazy and everyone else around me. Okay. So before we go back into that, we're going to talk about tonight's chart that's really off the hook. So, having the new moon in the astrological sign of Aries, which is fire and action and courage, in the middle of 2 planets that are very important. We're going to talk about these planets in your charts tonight. One planet, Jupiter, is the millionaire planet. So wherever you have Jupiter in your chart relates to the masculine form of wealth. Jupiter is the king of the gods. Okay, so in Vedic astrology, Jupiter is the very masculine force of wealth. And then the other planet we're going to look at is Venus, the billionaire planet, which is the feminine version of wealth in an astrological chart. Now, what does that mean? Well, feminine means more receptive. Maybe that's how you receive a lot of money very well. Okay. Whereas Jupiter might be the way that you give money very well. You might be a philanthropist wherever you have Jupiter. You're someone who's going to give a lot through that Jupiter energy. Okay. Whew. And so I'm really excited to have you all here. And I know I'm setting the intention right now that by the end of this call, we're all going to be happy. We're all going to be glowing and excited. And we're going to be feeling a bit like my friends here after our sessions. So we might as well set the intention since it is the new moon, since we're all here and we can amplify that energy just by our very presence in this now moment. Go ahead and repeat after me if you want to out loud. I am open to receiving floods of financial abundance, which allows me to give back more. Okay. And then I want you to rub your hands together. And I want you to just tune in to whatever that brings up for you. Because there might be some constrictions or contractions or energies that are like, oh, I'm open to receiving floods of financial abundance. Am I really? Am I really? Well, let's see. Okay. And so just take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, rub your hands together. Activate your energy and tune into when you say to yourself, I am open to receiving floods of financial abundance, which allows me to give back more. And just feel that move through your body. Notice if there's any resistance, if there's any clunkiness around that, take a deep breath in. Source, creator, spirit, anything and everything preventing us to feel absolutely amazing, 100% fantastic, feeling open to receiving floods of financial abundance. Anything and everything preventing that from this lifetime or any other. Will you please now just revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate it all. Just say yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nines, shorts, boys, covids, and beyonds. There you go. Woo! And then source, super conscious, creative self, please show us any fear or resistance to you stepping into being open to receiving floods of financial abundance. That's it. Woo, look at that. Yep, tag it. And please now treat in the highest and best order, in the highest and best way. Do a complete change history and everything as needed. Blocks to being open to receiving floods of financial abundance. There it is. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, covids, and just shake it out. Woo! Yeah, all right. Doing some energy work to start off this night. Fantastic. Get our blood moving, heart's pumping. Good, and then take a nice deep breath in. God, please give them all the divine spiritual gifts to enable them to feel completely open to receiving floods of financial abundance. Whatever those spiritual gifts your heart, your soul need, God, please give them those divine spiritual gifts that will enable them to feel open to receiving floods of financial abundance and allows you to give back more as you wish, as you wish. Here we go. And that God, please teach them how to use these gifts. And you might yawn. You might need to stretch a little bit. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, this is real tangible stuff we're receiving. It's real stuff. Cool. Wow. It's interesting how tangible the intangible can be, right? Okay. All right. So now I'd like you to just say to yourself out loud, I am open to receiving floods of financial abundance, which allows me to give back more. And just notice Do you feel different now when you say it? Does it feel a little bit more like real?
More tangible.
Yeah, kind of like it's actually a thing, as opposed to kind of like 5 miles in front of you. Like, I kind of think that could be possible. I don't
Like
know.
it's in the process.
Yeah, yeah, you're just aligning to it. You're just saying you're releasing the resistance, essentially, to that which already is. Woof. So what is an astrology chart, and why might we want to sit here tonight and learn more about it? Why might we want to look at a chart to figure out wealth? Why might we want to look at a sidereal chart to learn about ourselves? Well, Sri Yukteswar, who is one of the main teachers for Paramahansa Yogananda, wrote this amazing quote about what is basically happening at the moment we're born. And he says, a child is born on that day and at that hour when the celestial rays are in mathematical harmony with his or her individual karma. Okay. So when we look at an astrological chart and we can decipher the meaning of the signs and which planets are in which signs and what that means, we're basically given a map to decipher our own karma. Oh, okay. Where are my challenges? Where are my gifts? Where is my focal point or my purpose? What am I here for? And you can literally download that information. What about wealth and money? Yes, you can download that too. And so that is our focus tonight, is looking at Venus and Jupiter, the billionaire planet and the millionaire planet, where they land in our charts. And also right now, we're going to go over what is happening with this new moon. What is the energetic? What is the astrology picture? What is the painting of the planets? I guess you could say, right? What is the Rubik's Cube pattern of all the different planets tonight? And what is the image that it creates? So before we jump into that, I'm just going to share a really quick video of some of my awesome former astrology clients, just to share, to reinforce the power of this work, right? Because you're new to this work. Maybe you haven't had a session with me yet. And I really want you to perceive and experience from their mouths, from their stories, what wonderful things they've experienced. And I'd love to hear from all of you tonight later too. Okay, here we go.
I don't know much about astrology, and I haven't really been interested in learning up until, I would say, the last 6 months. Wow, I feel like you're spot on with so much that you've said, right?
Woo!
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I think you've answered most all of them that I even had. So thank you. Yes.
I'm no longer a Gemini. Oh gosh. Okay. That whole "who am I" question. Gosh, gee whiz.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was born on a full moon.
Yeah.
Holy, that was good. Okay. I totally feel that. Refreshing to know, or have some like validity to what you're feeling, or explanation and further understanding to where like it's not your weakness. It's a part of
There's
who you
nothing
are.
wrong with you. You're just being you.
Yes. Yes.
And you're
Thank
complex and beautiful.
Yeah, celebrating the glory that we are, the uniqueness. Yes, yes, I appreciate it because sometimes, like with human design, I've had readings that are like super generic. That it's like, I feel like you're just reading from the textbook of what this thing means instead of actually like applying it or like seeing the whole picture and then piecing it together. And so.
Yeah.
That was you're super knowledgeable, but also like super present. So thank you.
Yeah, I think I needed this because, like you said, I believe in astrology so much that I've tried to make myself fit into my tropical chart. So my true chart, it's almost like, I knew this is who I was, and I was trying to fit myself into some mold that I'm not. Makes sense. I do not look like an Aquarius. I look like Pisces. I really do. I have the body that, told me more and more. I felt my vibration raising. So this was amazing. And you gave me, so I can't wait to go back through and read I took about 15 pages of notes. So it'll be good.
So I think, Patrice, that was something you talked about last night, was feeling like your True the Stars sidereal astrology chart just fit you better. Like it was more aligned and more true to you. Yeah.
Yeah, after I saw my chart or heard my chart, I'm like, oh, I'm not, I don't, I mean, it was like something just like just came over me, just like water or something, and just flushed whatever was going on in my field, it just took it away. And I didn't feel like it wasn't like I was tight. I felt free. Let's put it that way. More free.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. And that's what we're all looking for.
I don't know.
And I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're finding this information across the interweb. A lot of you found me off of YouTube, which is just, I love that. I can be sitting here in the redwood forest in a small town in California near the ocean, and I get to interact with people all over the world and get to share this information. It's really a gift. This is one of my students and colleagues, and she came onto one of these classes, just like you all are on, just a free event. And she said, if I had only learned this information 30 years ago, my whole life would have been different. And I just went, wow, that's amazing. And of course, she's a billionaire life coach. So, I figured she was a good example with our work on the billionaire planet and the millionaire planet tonight. Thank you, Josette. Big ups to you. And it's really amazing watching people transform after you give them access to the knowledge of who they are. Once we know who we are, it's like doors open. Have you noticed that? Like the more we know thyself, and thus you cannot be untrue to any man, right? We start with ourselves. Millionaires do not use astrology, billionaires do. Okay. And so for thousands of years, the elite classes, the kings, the queens, even President Nixon had a private astrologer. Now, was she using the sidereal system? Probably not, which is probably why Nixon got into so much trouble. But but I'd say it's a good start to get on this train that we're on. So here's a money tree. I thought it'd be fun to include a money tree. They say money doesn't grow on trees. And I thought, well, hey, here's one. So I want you to all be able to call in not only your purpose and your path and align to that soul purpose, but also to materially match that as you go forward. Now, some people wonder why they might have challenges with money. And I learned something really powerful last night about money. Apparently, money energetically does not start at zero energy, if that makes sense. It doesn't start clear. In fact, money absorbs every energy it ever touches. So when we receive money, we are also receiving the energy of every other person that it's ever been in contact with. Yeah. Yeah. And if you're sensitive, mind explosion moment. If you're sensitive, you may be going, oh, I don't know. That's heavy. I don't want all that heavy. And so the more money you receive, the more karma also comes with it in the form of everyone else's energy. And so it can be like, I'm going to keep that out there. Okay. So let's say you want to have more money, right? You want to use it to pay your bills. You want to use it to travel the world. You want to use it to support your family. You want to buy a nice meal for your children, like the basics. You want to go shopping. You want to buy a nice pair of shoes. You want to have a pair of shoes, right? Wherever you're at, money in our society buys things, okay? So how do we get past this? So this is from an amazing channeler on YouTube. I'm going to give out a shout out to her. This is Maria. You can look her stuff up. All of her stuff just blows my mind. This is Maria. That's it. You can find her handle. And she shared this amazing little visualization that I'm just going to bring into our awareness tonight. You can play with it as you want. Go listen to the whole video by her. But what you're going to do, because she said that money is currency, currency relates to the energy of water. So money relates to water and flow and the divine feminine. Interesting, because we have Venus, the divine feminine, conjunct the sun and moon tonight. Interesting. So what you're going to do is you're going to visualize a big white gateway, like an archway across, like in front of your energy field. And it's just beaming white light. And then you're going to imagine rivers of money coming towards you. And you're maybe even you've been like, no, it's too yucky. I don't want that. It's too heavy. Okay. So now we're going to put that, and Coach Chiosama is like, bring it on. Okay. So we're going to put that gate of white light in front of our beingness. And we're going to put the command and the postulate that all money, all currency that flows to us is going to have to go through that gate of white light. And so any darkness, any karma, anyone else's energy on that money from here on out into eternity will get cleansed and purified as it goes through that gateway. 100% every time, in every way, every tiny molecule will be cleansed and purified before it reaches your energy field. Woo! Before it reaches your bank account. Confirmation, the wind started blowing. Woo! All right. And so just feel how now there's this beautiful white light gate in front of you. And so all of the abundance and currency, just see it coming through that gate to you. Now you have to imagine what is going to receive it, which is usually around the solar plexus chakra. Do you have space there? Are you ready to receive the energy of money, of currency, of wealth? Okay, so that's where you start to imagine love and healing to holding money. And then maybe you imagine a basket. Maybe you imagine something that can receive the flow of wealth and abundance. Yep, there you go. Coach Gio's getting ready to receive. He's throwing the money down. And his beautiful wife is here and she's laughing. I love it. This is so great. This is so great. I love it. It's kind of perfect you're both here tonight because we have Jupiter is kind of the more masculine wealth planet and then Venus the more feminine, right? So we got a husband-wife team and I just think that's so perfect. So we're going to imagine that basket and think about, okay, well, how much am I able to receive right now? And it might be kind of tight. You might notice like, I don't know, maybe I haven't been open to money. Okay, so you're just going to acknowledge it. You can say hi to wherever you're at. And then you can say, I invite you to grow a little bit larger. I invite you to expand to the amount that feels good to receive. And I'm going to practice expanding and I'm going to practice allowing and I'm going to practice receiving more. And so that can be a meditation every day. It's just practicing receiving more and opening to that. And I never knew that was a practice, but it's a very profound practice. So I wanted to give you some really real tools for calling in abundance and wealth. Thank you to This Is Maria for that meditation and that little sequence I shared with you. Amazing stuff. It blew my mind when she shared this. And then you also might want to think about your relationship to women. And I definitely started thinking about your relationship to your mama, your relationship to your wife, your relationship to your sister, your friends. How is your relationship to the divine feminine? Because if you have any big holdbacks in that, and if you're a woman, golly, it's not an easy thing with other women. We're all really working on that one, I think, learning to trust each other and support each other and really be here for each other. And that's what we want. Women love women. Like we love supporting each other. Like that's what we're built for, right? Community. Our ancestors or the women would come together and work together every day. for the tribe and for the community. And so I always dream of, sisterhoods and communities of women supporting each other, and how beautiful that is, really. And men too. You're part of it too, Coach. But our ancestors, the men would typically leave the tribe and go out hunting, right? So the women would be at home, we'd be making the food and foraging for the berries and talking a lot. Talking and talking and talking. And the men would be silent because they'd have to stay quiet so they didn't disturb the animals, so they could get the food to feed the family. Very different, right? So here we are. Here and now, and we're working on co-creating wealth and abundance in our own lives and for those that we love and care about with this new moon. Okay. Oh, I love this quote. This is a great quote. I read this last week in Coach and I's new book club that we started, and when I read it, I felt the wind rise up really strong. It was powerful. And this is from Napoleon Hill. If you haven't read Think and Grow Rich yet, it was written in the 1930s. It is one of the absolute best books for learning how to manifest riches and abundance. I have never been into that sort of thing, but this book is magic. Like, you open a page and you can feel it vibrating with wealth energy. Okay. And so I love this quote. When riches begin to come, and he's talking about applying the secret to thinking and grow rich, they come so quickly and in such great abundance that one wonders where they have been hiding during all those lean years. Right. And Coach added something really great to this in the class. He's like, well, they were just off our radar screen. We just couldn't see them yet. Right. But I just want to invite you to think about that feeling of all of a sudden, you've had those days, right? Where all of a sudden something changes, right? Something shifts, and you're like, where did that come from? Oh my God, it was there all along. So let's start imagining that about wealth and abundance. Okay. So we had a major thing happen last week, which was that Jupiter, the king of the gods. So who is Jupiter? Who is Jupiter? What is Jupiter all about? So I went and did some fun video gathering to create a nice slide for Jupiter. Here's Jupiter. So Jupiter, or Zeus in Greek mythology, was the king of the gods. He lived up on Mount Olympus, up in the heavenly realms of the Greek gods. He basically Hi, hola. He basically was in charge. So Jupiter is this big energy. Jupiter is the biggest planet. Yeah. And it represents strong masculine force. It also represents the energy of expansion. So whatever Jupiter touches, it expands. It is also the great teacher and a great leader energy. In Vedic astrology, it represents the husband and the father. Okay, so it's a very strong masculine energy. See, I got this together for you, Coach, so that you wouldn't just have to come to an all women's event. There'd be some masculine energy here too. Yeah, yep. So here we have Jupiter, a more masculine energy in the planetary field. And Jupiter changed signs just about a week ago into the sign of Taurus. And Jupiter's a big planet. And so when it changes signs, it's palpable. Like, we literally will feel it. And Jupiter, of course, expansion, growth. It's the millionaire planet. So it expands whatever it touches. Going into Taurus, Taurus is the earth goddess, right? Taurus is like the cow, it's fertility, it's like milk, like milking the cow, right? It's that abundant, like, if you've ever, had a fresh cup of milk that had just been, the cow had just been milked and they poured that raw milk into that glass and you drank it. I mean, that is just like pure abundance. It's pure living life force energy that is just radiating with life. Okay. And so Taurus energy relates to the five senses. It relates to anything we see, taste, touch, hear, smell. It's all the physical five senses. So that can include things like massage. That can include like anything that's sensual, like uh, um, body care, self-massage, cuddling with the loved one. Taurus loves everything that you can touch. Okay. And it also relates to decadence. So we're talking chocolate cake. We're talking everything you can eat. We're talking going to a 5-star restaurant. I mean, Taurus lives it up. It orders the steak, it orders the potatoes, it orders the piece of chocolate cake. Coach Giosama's getting very excited over there. He's like, yes. Right. And then for us ladies, right, exactly. For us ladies, that might be something like going to a strawberry patch, picking fresh strawberries, getting some fresh whipped cream, and having a strawberry shortcake sitting in the sun with a nice glass of lemonade, having a piece of chocolate. It's that luxuriating. So it's not just delicious food, it's like the luxuriating in the feel of it, in the taste of it, in the smells, like delicious perfume, smelling a flower, going to an opera, hearing music. The part of the body that Taurus rules is the throat. So that's one reason why eating is part of the Taurian energy. Another reason is Taurus is about singing. So Taurus invites us to get into our song. Okay. So you're going to see a huge amount of people learning how to sing in the next year, huge amount of people getting into music, right? We're like, I suddenly just decided to go for it. And you're going to be like, Jupiter and Taurus. Right. And it's also going to mean a lot of people are going to start woofing. You guys heard of woofing? It's where you can travel the world living on people's farms and milking cows, gathering eggs and growing plants and bringing in the crops. Taurus is that. Taurus is the gardener. Taurus is outside, shoes off, planting the crops, eating the fresh strawberries straight from the plant. It relates to that nature vibe. So everything to do with nature, from woofing to backpacking to nature exploration, people are going to be going outside more, right? After everything that happened, like people are going to leaving the house in droves, just wanting to go out and learn about nature, learn about singing. So a good quote or sticker for Jupiter and Taurus is to plant seeds and sing songs. That's as basic as that Taurian energy is. Just plant seeds, sing songs. And since it's the millionaire planet, investing in all those areas may be very lucrative over the next year, like agriculture, wineries, 5-star resorts. People are going to want to go to fancy places. They might have been saving up, they might have been scrimping, but Taurus is money, actually. Taurus is money. It's wealth, it's security, it's the bank. It's building up your savings account. Taurus loves to build up their wealth. They like to save money, but they also love to spend it. It's a little bit of a catch-22 for them because they love decadence, they love wealth, they love beauty, but they also love safety and security. So it's an interesting time. If you invest in things like decadence and resorts, and I was even thinking like retreat centers are going to be huge because Jupiter is also learning and growth of the mind, and Taurus is nature. So I think there's going to be so many retreat centers in nature expanding where people are suddenly just going there in droves. Whereas before it was kind of like an idea, like, yeah, it'd be cool to go to Costa Rica and stay at this nature retreat. Like now it's going to happen. So all those people sitting in Costa Rica, they're going to finally make some bank and they're going to be pretty thrilled. So if you want to invest in something with this Jupiter Taurus energy, I highly recommend agriculture, land, beauty, everything related to beauty, skincare, like natural skincare. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Evan Healy. She makes these natural herbal, face care line. That kind of stuff is going to be very popular. So tonight, why do I go into this so long? Tonight, the sun and the new moon are together and they are conjunct Jupiter, the millionaire planet. So we are activating this energy of expansion through nature, expansion through the earth, expansion through beauty, money coming in, the more stuff we invest into the land, right? So farming, agriculture, food, farmers markets, farm to table is going to be off the hook. Like natural, organic food, farm to table places, you're going to see it just sprouting up. People are going to be interested in food on like a weird level where you're like, I know food's really awesome. I love food, but people are going to be making food shows like crazy. And people are going to be going out to eat more. So restaurants are going to sprout up. So just a heads up about what this is sort of bringing. And then we're going to look into all your charts and see where you have this going on as well. Okay. So tonight, we've got the new moon happening, Sun, Moon, and Venus in Aries. Now, what's interesting about this is that it's the end of Aries. Okay, so when a sign is at the end, it also brings a lot of the energetics of the next sign into it. And the next sign is Taurus, right? So we just went into that Jupiter and Taurus energy. So there's a little bit of that vibe with this new moon in Aries. There's also the Aries vibe, which I'm going to go into here. Okay. Venus, of course, is the billionaire planet. And so the sun and the moon are sandwiched literally right between Venus on one side and Jupiter on the other. Billionaire planet, millionaire planet. So Aries, what is Aries? Aries is action energy, superhero energy. Okay. So who is your inner superhero? Right? What does your inner superhero look like? What are their superpowers? Aries invites you to tap into that, to tap into courage, to tap into initiative, to tap into action. Kind of like put on your superhero boots, put on your superhero gear and go out there and take action. I was like, oh my God, it's a great time for a challenge, right? It's good energy for that. So the greatest of wealth is the richness of the soul. Right? Just a reminder as we go into looking into wealth, one of the greatest ways to access it is actually by looking into the power of our own soul, which is one thing that the astrological chart reveals, which is our soul planet. Okay. So sun and moon together. So did you know that at the new moon time, the sun and the moon are in exactly the same sign? Yeah. So that's one reason the new moon is so powerful, is because the sun represents soul. It's kind of more masculine. It's more bright and young. And then the moon is cold and yin. And the two of them come together to create unity. And so that's one reason why intentions are also so powerful, is because when you have them together, right, there's seamlessness, there's cohesion. There's oneness, oneness of the mind, oneness of purpose. Yeah, it's pretty powerful. The most difficult thing is the decision to act. The rest is merely tenacity, right? And so Amelia Earhart would know. She did some of the craziest flying ever as a woman to go out there and get in an airplane and fly as far as she did. Okay, and so Aries energy, the sun and moon, is really asking us to step into that decision. You know, and we hear this a lot in the mentorship club that we're in. Success is just a decision away, right? And it's really that moment when you make that decision, that's it, period, that the energy begins to move. And sometimes it takes a lot of sitting on a nail and being uncomfortably uncomfortable before we actually get up and move our butts towards what we actually want, right? And I have compassion for that. I've been there a gazillion times, but then that impulse comes. And so this sun and moon in Aries is a really good time. Is there something you've been on the fence about? Maybe you want to go, I'm going to try and do this. If it's right, if it's like 100% alignment, then Yes. If maybe your consciousness is like holding you back on purpose, you got to listen to that too. Okay. So what is the sun energy, right? Well, first of all, you're not here to bring light into the world. You're here to be light. Okay. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you are light without needing to do anything else. Like you are already that light. Okay. Be like the sun, and what is within you will warm the earth. Okay. May the sun shine in through your spirit. May your spirit shine out like the sun. So, what is the sun? The sun in astrology is soul, it's light, it's brightness. It is what gives the ability to plants and animals to live. Without the sun, we would be maybe not be here anymore. So, the sun in astrological chart is important. That's why I call the midheaven, which we talked about yesterday, which is located in the top of the chart, as the secondary sun sign. And that's where we shine. We shine. Okay. And so knowing how we shine the brightest gives us the power to decide to shine. Because we're like, I know which way I'm going to shine like. I'm going to choose it and do it. And bam, look what happens. So for myself, I learned that I had Gemini on my midheaven up at that highest sun point of my chart. Well, what is Gemini? Gemini talks a lot. Gemini loves to teach. It loves to share information. And I said, I love doing that. And then I said, I'm going to do it. That's it, period. Okay. And so I was able to use the chart to affirm and confirm my career choices. Should I go out there and live stream on YouTube with people I don't even know? Yes, I should. I should do that because I was able to use the chart to confirm with what I felt. Yes, this is aligned with the stars. This is aligned with your blueprint. It's going to be easy for you. And it was. And I was like, really? That's weird. That's just weird. Okay, cool. I'll take it. So that's the solar energy. It's bright. It's yang. It's external. Now we come to the moon energy. Very different in astrology, right? Moon is the mama. Moon is nurturing. It is the home. It is nursing, right? I know we've got a mama on the call here. I know this moon energy is speaking to you, Christy Moonbeam. So we've got the moon energy with the stars. We've got the goddess energy. So moon, divine feminine, nurturing, nourishment. Okay. What was our relationship to our moms like? That's what the moon shows us. Did we get enough nourishment? Are we very nourishing as people? That's what the moon shows us in a chart. It's powerful. And then on the other side of this sun moon coming together in Aries, we have Venus. Oh, I love Venus. Venus, the billionaire planet, the divine feminine energy. This is Lakshmi Devi. She's from, the Hindu tradition. And Lakshmi Devi is a goddess of wealth and abundance. And they say you can pray to Lakshmi for divine blessings of abundance and prosperity to come through. And it's beautiful energy. Every time I look at their art of her, I just kind of go, oh, it's just so beautiful, right? You feel that opulence, right? You feel that wealth. You feel that feminine energy. And we just found out, right, that money is feminine. It's water. It's currency. So how is our relationship to the divine feminine essence? I woke up today, I was like, man, I got some work to do, right? It's like, oh, I got these challenges with my mom and my sister, working on it. And I was just honoring of that. I was like, we all have challenges with people we love who are whatever sex that they are. We all have challenges. We all are working through learning how to get along with each other. Why? Because we probably had imperfect childhoods. I would imagine. I would imagine that most of us didn't get 100% of the love and nurturing and care that all children really need. But we come from an imperfect world. And so we do our best now to love each other, right? We do our very, very best. And it's beautiful. Oh, Coach Giosama says, I feel happiness seeing her. Yes. Yes, I do too. I do. I feel like this light. I feel this energy. So I'm just going to ask that Lakshmi, oh, hi. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to ask Lakshmi Devi, because you know, they say that we're allowed to invoke and pray to these deities. We're just going to ask Lakshmi Devi to just bless us all with just divine wealth and abundance, that we set a seed and intention for the wealth we wish to create. And we just ask her to bless us with that divine currency and that divine flow, and to heal anything that needs to be healed so that we can open to more, so we can receive more, so that we can give more. And we just ask that divine blessing to come through for all beings, through all directions of time and space, whoever needs to have this blessing around wealth and money and just the divine, beautiful things of the earth. That's what this billionaire planet really shows us. And that's what Lakshmi really represents, right? It's just beautiful, beautiful energy. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Lakshmi Devi. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, I really feel this. This is pretty powerful. So anytime you need to, you just ask from your heart, from your soul, and you will be blessed, right? Ask and you shall receive. So now we're getting into it here. Let's look at this chart. All right, so tonight, this new moon, sun 16 degrees of Aries, moon 15 degrees of Aries, Venus 9 degrees of Aries. So 1, 2, 3, 4 things in Aries. The sun moon midpoint is the balance between sun and moon. So they're in the same sign. So is the sun moon midpoint. Yeah. Okay. Notice how Venus is closer to Pisces, which is water, which kind of makes sense because that's, you know, the divine feminine flow. And Jupiter has now moved into Taurus, right? So we've got in the middle an Aries kind of fiery end of Aries sandwich. On one end, we've got Jupiter toast, which is about expansion, the millionaire planet. And on the other end, we have Venus, the billionaire planet. And so sun and moon sandwiched between Venus, the billionaire planet, and Jupiter, the millionaire planet, with Uranus, oh boy, right before you get to Jupiter. So what is Uranus energy? Uranus energy is lightning. Uranus is another god or deity from the Greek pantheon, but he's all about unexpected happenings, right? So in the midst of this very fertile energy, there's also sort of like this chaos. There's kind of like unexpected change. Uranus is the revolutionary. Uranus shifts anything that is not built on solid ground. So it's not to be afraid of Uranus. It's more to appreciate what Uranus is a revealer, right? Uranus as a revealer of things that are not solid. Okay. And at the same time, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things in Pisces tonight, which is water. So as hot and fiery as the sun and moon in Aries are, right? Aries is total fire. It's passionate, pioneering, confident, motivated, can be irritable, can be pessimistic, right? Can have this kind of, it can get a headache because it rules the head. Can get hot-tempered. You can get angry with so much Aries energy. The sun can be really hot when there's a lot of Aries planets. It's weird. I'm like, that's not working. But it's true. When there's Aries planets, sometimes the sun is even hotter. So even though Aries is about charging ahead, it's like being in your chariot and charging towards your destination. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things in Pisces, which is water. What is Pisces? So Pisces energy is so different from fire, right? It's the complete opposite. Pisces energy is full on water. It is symbolized by the 2 fish. It's the mermaid energy. It rules film and cinematography. It's meditation. It's retreat. It's going within. It's very intuitive. It's very feminine. It's like our psychic abilities. Do you see how they're like opposites? Right? So Aries is that fiery action. And then we have 6 planets in water. So we've got a bit of steam today. There's a bit of steam. There's a bit of fire and water learning to work together. Okay. Yeah. And so one way we can do that is through making tea. So if you haven't made tea yet today, I highly recommend you make a cup of tea and you give yourself a little practice. You turn on that fire, you feel the heat, and then you put the water in and you notice the fire and the water mixing. And wow, look, they created something I can use. It's kind of similar to a man and a woman, right? Sometimes it's like, how do you even work near? Like, you're a different species. I don't understand you. And then all of a sudden, you've made a baby. And it's like, look what we made. Oh, isn't that neat? Oh, I guess we're useful for each other after all. And then hopefully the relationship improves after that. And we learn how to communicate with each other across the great divide of the feminine masculine polarity, which is actually a great thing. It's a great thing. Our polarity with each other is a beautiful thing that deserves honor, deserves respect, and many bows. You two have probably been married for many, many years. So deep bows to you both for that achievement. Truly, truly it is an achievement. So yeah, so that's a big part of what's happening today. Another thing that's going on that is fairly intense, that could be coloring this kind of exciting moment of wealth and abundance, is the fact that a planet called Pluto, down here, this is Pluto right here, has gone retrograde. And what is Pluto? Pluto is the god of the underworld. Oh yeah, that's right. Pluto is related to death, to sex, to birth, to every initiation point on the planet. He's Mr. Intensity. Yep. He's Mr. Intensity. Some people are like, I don't know if I want Pluto to come to the party. And some people are like, Pluto's cool, right? We got people on different sides of the fence here with Pluto. But Pluto asks us to go deep. He asks us to investigate that which is under the surface, as opposed to staying, hi, nice to see you. No, Pluto goes down to the root. It's like, I found it. And you're like, right? Or you go into the closet and you find the box from 15 years ago that has all the old papers. And you're like, oh my God. And that would be Pluto energy, is that delving deep to find something that's been hidden. Hey, maybe it could be inheritance as well. Pluto can sometimes be the revelation of inheritances, things that were lost, things that were buried. Well, Pluto has gone retrograde. Oh dear. So what does retrograde mean? Retrograde means that it appears to be moving backward in space. It basically means that we're being invited to reassess, redo, reactivate, renew, all the RE words. So Pluto in Capricorn retrograde. Well, Pluto is the depths. It's like that driller guy who like goes down underneath the level of the street. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how deep Pluto goes. In Capricorn, it's our foundations. So we're being asked with Pluto going retrograde right now to go really deep. And Capricorn also represents success and mastery. Yeah, so everything that a success and mastery teacher or coach would teach, that is Capricorn. How do you climb the ladder of success to achieve the mountaintop? That is Capricorn energy. So with Pluto retrograde there, Pluto's asking us this question. He's saying, what are the foundations and the depth of your structure of your success? So you've been successful, right? Maybe you've done well. Pluto here is saying, what's underneath that? What is at the core root of your foundation? Is it completely solid? Is there anything at all that needs to transform? Are there any habits? Are there any energies in the foundation? Because Capricorn is earth. I often think of Capricorn as just a mountain, right? So it's super solid. Is there anything in the foundation of your mountain, who you are, that needs to be transformed? One of the things that happened the week Pluto went retrograde in my town is that a water line burst. It geysered. and they had to shut off all the water for town. So there was like a boil the drinking water in effect, and you couldn't get water in town. And they've had to replace all the piping deep under the freaking road. And so they've been demolitioning the road and tearing everything up. I'm like, oh my God. And that's right when Pluto went retrograde. And so what that can mean is that, is there anything from your past in the depth of your foundation, right? This can be your family structure. This can be your home. This can be your business. This can be the government. This can be CEOs. This can be big business as well. So we have the microcosm of us and who we are. And then we have the macrocosm of the government system, right? And what we see out in the world and the leaders on the public stage. And so it is both asking us, how can we up level? How can we improve? How can we pull out those roots that are like maybe old, maybe like, oh, that habit's not so good, or that practice isn't so good. We're being asked to look very deeply at ourselves. And dang, is that uncomfortable? It's like, okay, time to put on the glasses, time to investigate this thing. Oh, wipe it off, clean it off. Okay, nope, that's gotta go. Yeah, I was down at the creek and I picked up some rocks. And I was like, reached under the surface of the water and pulled up a rock. And I was like, that's what Pluto does. It finds things that were buried underneath and then brings them up for us to look at them. And then we get to decide, am I going to keep this? Or am I going to let this go? Or am I going to give this away? Right? It's allowing us to sort, sift, and separate in the depth of our being what needs to be remade, what habits need to be strengthened, what needs to be increased, what needs to be decreased. It's kind of like a real deep come to God moment around our structure, both internally, and then it can be on the governmental level, right? We're going to be seeing so Pluto is truth, by the way. Yeah, Pluto is truth, right? Essentially. Okay, so in Capricorn is big business and government. So it just went retrograde, which is things from the past, may from the very depths of like the hidden chambers. Pluto is everything hidden and secret and lied about and kept hidden. We may be seeing a lot of truth come out, especially around government leaders, especially around corrupt government leaders. And so, brace yourself, because as that stuff comes out, those who have been hypnotized to think that everything's okay have to go through a bit of an upheaval. Okay. And so you might be like, oh yeah, I knew that. Of course. But the energetic waves of other beings being shown truth may also be affecting you. So it might not just be your own inner process of awareness of your transformational things you need to transform. It may also be the feeling of everyone else and their illusions crumbling. And that's hard, right? On a human level, we can have compassion for they were lied to. Okay, now they're seeing the truth. That's a tough situation. It's a tough situation, right? And we want everyone to be happy, right? We want everyone to be happy. And so we can just have love and compassion for the journey, because as Pluto goes direct again in September, we're going to be transforming our structures, up leveling, right? So imagine you're building a palace. So between now and September, maybe you're not building on it, right? Maybe you're putting a kind of suspend building the palace, right? Suspend building the foundation of your palace so that you can make sure the foundation's totally solid, totally clear. Make sure all the old things are cleared out of the way. And then come September, that build order is going to go back in, and you're going to be transforming your palace into a real palace here. Okay, so take the couple of months. If you're like, dang, what just happened? I was on go mode. We were going, it was moving. And then what happened? That might have been you feeling Pluto going retrograde. And I have to tell you, every summer, a lot of planets begin to go retrograde. And then through the autumn, they're retrograde. And so autumn is a time where there's a lot of review work for us collectively. Okay, so springtime is a good time to get the energy moving, because autumn is always a time where we kind of are processing, sorting, sifting, and reformatting everything we need to do. Okay, so I know I started this class on a high note with the billionaire and the millionaire planet, and now I've got you all in the depths of Pluto, and you're going, whoa, what does it mean? But that is how life is, right? Life is full of polarity, equal blessings as well as some equal challenges. And it's in the combination that we find the balance point of how depth can lead to abundance, and how abundance can also create more depth, right? And so we don't need to hide or run away from anything. We can integrate them to have a more clear picture. And I think all of you would agree the energetic on the planet is fairly interesting right now. It's fairly interesting. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to just say, yes, it's peaches and roses and unicorns and rainbows, right? Because they're there and we're going to find them and we're going to enhance them. And we're also going to become deeper, and we're going to become bigger, more beautiful people by the level of awareness that we bring into ourselves and for ourselves. That could be, totally, that could be. I'm not going to say anything else, but we'll see. Okay, so back to the lesson at hand here. Anyone, we'll keep moving before I ask that. Okay. Whew, so that Pluto going retrograde at the same time that we have this amazing wealth activation. So I wanted to tell you about the Pluto retrograde so that you could know it's there. Okay, be aware of it, structure and transformation. Okay, and where is it in your chart? That's going to be important. At the same time, we have moon emotion really close to Venus, and sun, soul, very close to Uranus and Jupiter. And so there's a lot of energy for taking courageous action towards that which we love. There's a lot of beneficial energy here. And so I want to really encourage you. Do you have an idea? Yeah, people may be going through a deep review. This is going to be 4 months. Okay, so it's a slow, stable process. It's not like a sudden, it's going to be slow and deep. Let that happen. And at the same time, because we're not just going to sit and process forever, right? We do stuff. We wake up, we get excited, we have ideas. So this is a powerful day to think about, what idea do you have that you're excited about? What are you inspired about? What is it? And then use the potency of this activation today with Venus near the moon, the billionaire planet, and Jupiter, the millionaire planet, near the sun, right? In Aries, which is charge ahead feminine leadership. It's the divine feminine in action, right? It's that goddess leading forwards. So as a divine feminine on this call, you might be feeling a little bit nudged to be more action oriented, to be a little bit more in your masculine. And at the same time, it's ruled by Mars, right? Mars is in Pisces, which is divine feminine flow. And so there's a little bit of a gender role reversal in the masculine and feminine energies right now, which is very interesting. So I've been seeing a lot of women really take action on their businesses and their ideas and really go out there. And then I've been seeing a lot of men coming together in groups and playing instruments and singing. And I thought that's interesting because Pisces is art, it's music. And so I've wondered if maybe the divine masculine is really getting into his feels right now, right? Really getting into just being. And that maybe us and the divine feminine are being invited to step more into the doing, to play with both sides of the spectrum. Now, this is not going to last forever. Venus will go into Taurus, and it will be very powerful when this happens. Okay. But the question I have for you is, where are you feeling drawn to charge forward? Where in your life are you feeling excited? Are you feeling motivated? Are you just super, super excited for action? right? Because in Vedic astrology, Aries is the chariot, charging forwards, 2 horses. What are your horses, right? What are you charging towards? This is a good day to tune into that. It's moving into Taurus. So what are you charging forwards with in action and leadership that you want to plant into the earth, like a flower or a garden? Or what is the physical thing you're going to create from this leadership energy that's drawing you towards what you want to create? Right? Very beautiful. Oh, I love this quote. I love Dolly Parton. She was maybe one of my very first female heroes. I don't know so much about today, but back then I loved her singing. So if your actions create a legacy that inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are an excellent leader. Okay. And so Venus in Aries energy is feminine leadership energy. It's women stepping up into our power as guides, as conduits, as people who inspire. Right? What is leadership, anyways? It's inspiration, isn't it? It's being able to inspire others towards something beautiful. That's how I perceive leadership to be, right? And so I'm so excited that you're all here tonight. Okay, abundance. What actually is abundance? A great or plentiful amount, an abundance of rain, an abundance of money, the condition of being in rich supply, bananas growing in abundance, degree of plentifulness. So may you know that you're fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose, right? So one of the ways that we achieve abundance and wealth is through devoting ourselves to our life purpose. So, whew, how y'all feeling out there? Are you ready to look at your charts? Are you ready to start to look at where this new moon, the sun in Aries, moon in Aries is in your chart, and where the Venus and Jupiter energies are? Okay, so we're going to start by looking at the chart. If you want to, you can write down Sun 16 degrees of Aries, Moon 15 degrees of Aries, Venus 9 degrees of Aries, and Jupiter 3 degrees of Taurus. So from 9 degrees of Aries to 3 degrees of Taurus is this incredibly powerful energy. Sun, Moon, Venus, Uranus, Jupiter, right? It's very activated. Okay. So we're going to start there. Okay. We're going to come down. And Anna, would you like to start first tonight? Because you weren't able to go last night. Are you there?
Yes, I would love to. Thank you. Yes.
I know, the part everyone's been waiting for. Okay, so let me see, Anna. And if you're a little lost on how to read these charts, you can go back to day 1 because we explained it all very deeply. I think it was helpful because now we've got a couple experts in the room. We've got Anna and Odie, and you kind of know what's up. And Patrice, this is awesome. Okay, so here we go. We're going to look for 9 degrees of Aries and 3 degrees of Taurus in your chart. And so where you have it, right? And if we, backed up to what we looked at last night, which is how many planets you have above versus below, they're fairly even, but I definitely think you have more below, which makes you very internal, very deep, very profound. You're also an excellent communicator with Sun and Leo in the house of communication. But this activation is very interesting because you're having Sun, you have Venus up here in your 11th, Sun, Moon, and then Jupiter and Uranus just crossing into your 12th. So what does that mean? Well, the 11th house is the house of community. It's the house of the world, right? So here you are on this new moon night in front of, live on YouTube across the planet. It's a very good 11th house energy. 11th house also relates to technology. And so how interesting that you're at an online event that is broadcast across the planet on this new moon. Okay, so there might be something for you around your presence in the world, coming up over the next 2 weeks? For instance, do you have something that you're here to lead people through? Right? Because Aries is leadership energy. 11th house is the planetary stage. Right? So is there something that you're drawn to sharing? And so one way we can look into that more is we could say, well, what planet rules Aries? Oh, Mars. Mars rules Aries. So that tells me, where's your Mars? Oh, it's in Virgo in the 5th house. Okay, Virgo is health. It is healing. It is the body. It's yoga. It's diet. It's exercise. 5th house is romance. It's children. It's joy. It's fun. It's pleasure. So for me, I would think you might be able to lead people with their bodies, maybe some type of movement, either yoga or dance. That is a hobby, right? It's something they do for fun. It could be dancing. It could be a yoga class. It could be me gusta bailar. I just see people dancing. And I see you maybe leading in some, and then since it's in the 11th house, I would say that would be like large groups of dancers, right? Like a large community of people coming together to do something perhaps physical, perhaps healing, perhaps in couples, perhaps as a date night, perhaps as just something you do with children, right? Just fun and joy. That's kind of what the 5th house energy represents. So, and how did that land? And is that related all to anything that you're up to?
Oh my God, yeah, I'm trying to see this new me here, but it's exactly what's when you said on the 11th house that like in 2 weeks, something like out in the world. And exactly since 2 weeks ago, let's say more or less 2, 3 weeks ago, I started to put myself out there online with my therapies that I've been doing for since 2004. But just now, all of a sudden a friend, because that's the friend house also, the 11th house, a friend was the one who offered, since she knows how to deal with the online things, all that kind of stuff, technology, that she would do that for me, and then I do what I do, and then we get together as a team, and she's doing all this online thing, and I just started, and now it's moving. So,
Oh.
and I've never imagined something like that because I'm very, like you said, very shy or deep within. I don't know. It's kind of insecure, like going out, online out there. And
Yeah.
more person to person, face to face kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
therapy.
yeah. You have Sun, Mercury, Uranus, Pluto all in 3rd house under the horizon line. Leo, which is you shine. You shine very brightly in that one-to-one, like going to the grocery store, going
Yeah.
close by, your friends, your neighbors. But yeah, so going out there bigger has probably felt a little more challenging. But
Yeah.
your midheaven, which is in Pisces, is Neptune. And your Neptune is very close to your Mars. And your Mars is the ruler of the Sun Moon conjunction. And so the ruler of your career house is conjuncting this Sun Moon activation Venus Jupiter thing that's happening for you. So it makes a lot of sense, right?
Yes, it's incredible. And Jupiter here, how would Jupiter that's now happening, how would that come in
Right.
here?
Well, Jupiter is in Taurus, right? Jupiter and Uranus. And so Jupiter would be aspecting your 11th and 12th house. And so it's moving and it will touch your destiny point over the next year. And so you have your destiny point in Taurus right here. Right now, Jupiter is about 4 degrees of Taurus. So it's moving forwards, right? And it will hit your destiny point over the next year. And the destiny point in Taurus is about building a strong, stable, secure life that's based on all the comforts of home, having enough food to eat, a roof over your head, all these basic things through
Yeah.
your own effort. It's about you claiming that ability to create that substantial care for yourself through 12th house is meditation, it's art, it's creativity, it's sort of this very flowing, beautiful energy, which it sounds like what you're doing, which is perfect. But having Jupiter swing by that destiny point feels like you're going to be blessed, right? You're going to be blessed with, Jupiter having that masculine energy could be support and structure around you stepping forward into your destiny finally, where you feel like, oh, I finally have that abundance, right? I finally have that prosperity. I finally have that fortune to move towards what I wanted to create. I finally have it, right? So that's amazing.
Yes,
That's quite a benefit. That's a benefic, as they say.
I feel it. And Venus, how does that come in here since it's
Yeah,
conjunct?
it's in the 11th house, right? So that means that you're receiving billionaire energy around leadership, right? So as you step forward into that leadership role, it's very abundant. And that's why I was so excited to do this call. So I was thinking about all the women who are probably feeling inspired right now to step out more with their leadership. And I want to say, do it, because the
Oh,
billionaire planet is right there. It's right in
yeah.
your Aries, the Aries sector of your chart. So wherever you have Aries, that
Oh,
billionaire planet is going to be activating you, which is
oh
just,
my
it's just amazing. Please
God.
write us all and let us know
Yeah, I just
what comes
dared
from
2
all of
weeks
this.
ago. I mean, it's very strange how just now, 2 or 3 weeks ago. So and now, and out of the blue. So it's very confirming. So here in this new um astrology sheet, would that I'm still an ascendant Gemini or no? Or did I change my ascendant
It
now?
changed as well. It went back into Taurus,
So I'm a Taurus ascendant.
right?
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes.
It changes
Taurus.
everything from air to earth.
Uh-huh. Taurus
I have,
ascendant, Sun in Leo.
and Sun in Leo, Sun in Virgo.
Uh-huh. So it goes back into Leo.
Oh my God. Yeah, I have to digest all that now. So
You
strange. I was like wondering how's it gonna
and
look. And that new planet you talked about yesterday, how does that go with me with this new chart?
well, it's in your 7th house.
Oh, oh my God, the seventh
Yeah.
house.
So tomorrow night we're going to dive into health, and we're
Uh,
going to dive into how are the body parts associated with the astrological signs? And then we're going to look a little bit more into Ophiuchus and where we have Ophiuchus and what that might mean. And we'll also look into anywhere that you have Virgo in your chart, because Virgo is the healer energy. So we can dive deeper into that. But I am stoked for you. This is so exciting,
Thank
Anna.
you.
This
Oh,
is
thank you
so
very much.
cool.
It's so
And I will,
enlightening.
yes, 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 yes. And I will send you your chart tonight. Now I had to find your birth time, so now I can send it to you, but super,
Yeah.
super awesome. Um,
Thank you very much.
yes, 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 you're welcome. So let's see here. Coach Gio, you've been waiting. You've been waiting, waiting. I can feel you. So we will go to you, Coach. So Coach Gio is awesome down in Florida. Welcome, my friend. So we're going to go immediately to the fact that he has quite a lot of planets up here in the top half of his chart. So that tells us that Coach Gio is very external, very young, very much a go and make stuff happen kind of guy. In fact, Mars in the 9th house, he loves to travel. He's got a lot of energy, and it's in it Leo, which is shining. So he really shines as he goes out there in the world. We're going to look at where this new moon is activating in his chart. So in Coach Gio's chart, his 5th house down here, yellow, where he has Ceres, the asteroid related to nurturing, Saturn, the planet of structure, and Juno, the asteroid of marriage. So he has the sun, moon, and Venus in his 5th house of romance and fun and hobbies and children. So it's kind of cool that you're here with your wife. So you're having maybe an astrology date, right? And so this is maybe a good inspiration for the next 2 weeks to put time and energy into romance in your life. Maybe taking your wife out on some nice dinners, maybe bringing her some flowers, some flores. Maybe, yep, This is what the astrology chart tells us. I got to tell you. And you've got Jupiter there. So what I'm hearing is that as you spread love and romance for your wife, you may receive money, okay? Because the feminine is related to what? Money. So our relationship to our wives, mothers, aunts, cousins, sisters have a direct correlation to our money flows. So if you take some time with this new moon activating your 5th house and say, okay, I'm going to put some focus on romance in my life with my wife. I'm going to maybe buy her some flowers. I'm going to put some time into that. You might find as she gets swept off her feet going, what happened? This is great. Please do this more often. You may find unexpected, because Uranus is conjunct Juno, which is your marriage asteroid, unexpected wealth and abundance coming in. Unexpected. Okay, so as you devote yourself towards romance, towards hobbies, towards fun and joy. So if you know any children, it's also a good time to play with them, go hang out with them, be childlike. That will bring a lot of money flow into your life. It's also very close to your house of health. And so it's also a good time for you to be more proactive with your health, get more into your schedule with your diet and your routine, and thus maybe begin to bring in more money in that way as well. Any questions, Coach Gio?
No, I just saw all that writing in there. I was like, that looks so confusing and dramatic.
Yes, you missed last night. So, so what I would say is go back, everyone, that this chart feels confusing. I lay out the structure, so it's very easy, so you don't get confused as to where to go first. Basically, what we're looking at is a chart of the sky at the moment you were born. This middle line is the horizon. You just imagine standing both your feet on that middle point, and everything that was above you is what was visible up in the sky when you were born, and everything below you, what was underneath the horizon, you couldn't see it. So this new moon is happening on an internal house for you. So it's happening for you. It's not so much an outward energy. It's more of a you tending to home energy, tending to your diet, tending to your exercise, tending to your wife. You know that statement, happy wife, happy life? It's real.
I'm sorry, you broke up. Say that again.
Yeah, I'll repeat it for good measure. You ever heard that statement? Happy wife, happy life. It's real. It's real because the wife, how happy the wife is going to affect how big and how good your money flow is. Tell every man you know. It's a serious thing.
I'll be the bearer of bad news to old man.
Well, what is it? When you learn to accept that which cannot be changed and take action towards it, then you can have the true wealth and abundance come your way.
Change.
Yes, if you want things in your life to change, you have to change things in your life. Right? So, yeah, my mom had a guru for many years, 10 years. She did practices every day. And he talked about men and women, and he talked about money. And he said that women, and if a man is in a relationship with a woman, her level of happiness will dictate his level of wealth. No joke. No joke. And so for a lot of people in relationships, you might not know this. You might think, oh, I just have to work really hard. And then at home, maybe the wife is not getting as much love or comfort or care as she needs. And the man's wondering, why is my bank account dwindling? The wife holds this sort of miraculous key to abundance. Cherish her. She is a divine wealth producing machine. Simply by being. And as a man begins to learn that, don't worry, you will be blessed. You will be blessed. So all the time, slowing down, learning how to communicate in a different language. I know we speak different languages. I know. But as we take the time to slow down and interpret the message from the other species, we will gain infinitely in wealth and abundance. I had a young man come to me about his chart. He said, Lotus, please help me. I looked at his chart. He said, where is this new moon affecting me? I said, it's in your house of marriage and relationship. He contacted me not a week later. He said, Lotus, you saved my marriage. He said, if you hadn't told me that, I would have missed all of these red flags and signs that I'd been ignoring. And he was able to put it to right. Now, I'm not saying that's the case for you. You seem very happily married. But it is powerful to give love back to our partners. It is easy to forget how important they are. And it's easy to think that we need to keep focusing on the other things that we're doing. But coming from a psychologist, I have a degree in psychology. And so I studied a bit about marriage and family and about relationships. We are really the sum total of our relationships. Every relationship is then kind of who we become. And all the energy, the connections we hold to every person, that's who we are. Every single person. Some days I'm like, who do I need to reach out to? And like, I can feel like there's someone I need to talk to. There's someone I need to send a message and just say hi. Like threads of a tapestry. We're all connected. Right? And it can be easy to forget that sometimes. So I invite you to think of something that you and your beautiful wife love to do, that you both love, that you both have fun doing. And then once a week, I swear to God, this will boost your income up. You write me and tell me how much it boosts your income up. At least once a week, you go do that, just you and her. Just you and her. Just kick off your feet, your shoes, go play in the sand, frolic like children, because this new moon is happening in your 5th house of love, romance, children, hobbies. It's not a super serious energy. It's a more joyful energy. You do have Saturn here. So maybe you're learning how to have fun. You're learning how to have fun. So you're very good at working. You're very good with dedication. Every so often, take off your tie, go play in the sand, frolic by the ocean with your beautiful wife. Bring some more joy because that will raise your income. What? Yes. Yes. I know. It's usually the things we never think of because they're off of our radar screen. They're hiding in plain sight where we don't see them. It's so funny and not funny at all. And so yeah. Any questions?
I'm good for now. I need
No.
I need a whole week to see if I can go ahead and take this in.
Right. That's what they say. They say that men take a whole year to take in information.
I was gonna say a year, but I was nice and said a week.
Yeah. Yeah. You might need a year. Yeah. Sometimes I work with them. I don't see them for a year. Where'd they go? Oh, Lotus, I took me a year to process what you said. Okay. I get it. I get it. Well, I hope this is helpful and we'll do more. I mean, you do have Ophiuchus rising, so that's pretty amazing. I highly recommend you watch last night's class.
I will.
It's very good. It will give you a lot of explanation on you and how to read this chart. And did I send you this? I think I sent it to you. So you can get confused and then watch the class and you won't be as confused, okay?
Got it.
Good job,
Thank you.
Coach. You're very brave. You're very brave. I applaud you. I applaud you. And you know what? I only say this out of love, and I only say this because I have a feeling I'm right. So I should just say I know I'm right, but I don't want to be too cocky. I don't want to be too brash.
Have you been speaking to my mom?
Yeah, yeah, your mom wants to see you too, coach.
She always tells me, listen to your mother. I'm right.
Yep. Well, that's because they affect our wealth. The feminine energy in our life affects our wealth. Can you believe it? Oh my God, it's just
Hey,
amazing.
I'm over half a century old and I never knew about this, so it's gonna take me maybe more than a year to take this in.
We got a whole world to reach with this. This is
Hey,
totally
baby steps,
baby
please.
steps. Baby steps. You got it, my brother. You got it. Okay. Okay. Yes. 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 Okay. So here we will go to OD. Are you still there? She's resting. We're up late for her. There she is. Okay, let's get you read here so you can go to bed. I can't hear you, my dear.
You're muted.
Oh, sorry about that. No, I just put the phone on charge and I had to run to get the phone.
Oh, no problem. Okay,
So
you're
I'm here.
here.
I'm here listening very
Okay.
attentively.
Oh, good, 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 good. Okay, so tonight, this new moon is activating your second house and your Jupiter. So you've got Jupiter conjunct Jupiter. So your Jupiter is conjunct both Jupiter and Uranus, the sun and the moon tonight in your second house. That's pretty powerful, my friend. Um, let's go a little deeper. So if it's in Aries, Aries is ruled by Mars. So we want to go check out where is your Mars. So here we have the second house down here. The second house relates to money, abundance, and wealth, material things. And then over here is your Mars. Mars rules Aries. You see, Aries is red, Mars is red. Mars rules Aries. What is Mars? Mars is masculine energy. It's action. It's doing. It's yang. Okay, so your Mars is in Leo. So it's shining. It's the sun. It's being the center. It's being sort of this energetic center for many, leading people through your light, shining very brightly and leading others. And it's in the sixth house, which is health and healing. It's the body. So that could be leading others. And it's conjunct Uranus and Pluto. Pluto is intensity, it's death, it's sex, it's transformation, it's all the big things. It's all the kind of intense, challenging energies that make you into a shaman. Right? It's all the challenges you've been through that have made you into the powerhouse that you are. That's
Wow.
that's what Pluto does.
Wow, wow, wow.
And on the other side of it is Uranus, which is change. It's revolution. It's the lightning bolt of, hey, we're going to change things up. We're going to do things differently. You think differently. You're a forward thinker. Mars is leadership. Pluto is depth. Okay. And so this Aries energy in your second house, one way you express it, one way that you bring home the money, so to speak, is through this leadership energy around health, around new age ideas, and around transformation. And so you really shine as you step into and embody sixth house's body, your leadership to assist people in changing and transforming their body habits, how they move their body, how they use their body, how they treat their bodies. Okay. And so you really shine in this capacity as being a leader for transforming and changing and assisting people to change their body, their routine, their diet. When do they go to sleep at night? All that kind of stuff. You really shine, right? You have this bright light around healing the body. And so with this new moon energy and Jupiter and Venus I get the sense that whatever this work is that I feel you're doing, it's going to be highly successful. It's just going to be kind of like abundant and prosperous. It's just going to flow. And that this is the seed. This is the seed beginning for you of this incredible blossoming of who you are.
Wow.
Tell us more.
The chart is really difficult for me to see, like the symbols. I find them, well, obviously, I'm going to have to take a screenshot and zoom them in.
Yeah.
But because I don't, like on there, my Mars is in Leo
Yeah.
at the time of my birth.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. I did not know this. But yeah, a lot of things of health are very obsessive, especially in the last few years. But we'll wait till tomorrow's workshop to see what's revealed.
Right, right. So all I'll say is that if you work with the body, do you work with the body? Are you a healer?
I do magnetism. So
Hmm.
it's with the hands, moving energy with the hands. And I'm into everything from essential oils to crystals to breath work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, healthy eating. I
Yeah.
made my gel, sea moss gel this morning. So kind of like wacky things, but I find it so beneficial.
You really glow, right? You really glow. And having Leo in the house of the body and health means you really glow around sharing your knowledge about health in the body and having the sun and moon and Venus and Jupiter, the millionaire and billionaire planet, all in your second house tonight at the new moon. The ruler of most of those planets being in Mars and Leo in the sixth house, I sense and feel that you're going to be very successful with this, that it will be very financially very supportive for you and maybe even surprising, I'm hearing.
Yeah. Oh, fascinating.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And then you also, the ruler of Jupiter, so you have Jupiter conjunct Jupiter, Taurus, Jupiter and Taurus in your chart, and Jupiter and Taurus in the sky. And the ruling planet of Taurus is Venus. And you have Venus in Pisces, which is water, and it's right here conjunct your ascendant. And so this could be you really being seen, right? Like your presence, your who you are being very profitable, right? Like that your image, your picture may have a lot of power to support people in their healing process. Like you really shine. I'm hearing to really be bold and brave with sharing yourself with people, like sharing your picture, making videos, just really because you have love right next to your ascendant. And so you exude love. Pisces is the higher octave of Venus. Okay. It's in that sign of the higher octave. And so you exude this sort of spiritual love energy out into the world. I'm just seeing all these hearts. I'm just seeing like your picture and just all these hearts, right? And so sharing your image, right? And shining, because Mars and Leo is ruled by the sun. Your sun is conjunct your Venus. And so you've got this kind of thing between your work and your identity. And that your identity is almost what inspires people to want to work with you. Like when I look at you and you tell me that you drank that seaweed, I'm just like, I want to know, when can you lead a workshop so I can come and learn from you, because you're sort of exuding this joyful health energy. Right. And it's being activated by this Jupiter to Jupiter energy, which is the millionaire planet. So, my friend, I can't wait to hear. And tomorrow's going to be very interesting as we dive into health and the parts of the body and how we can use the chart to start to unlock health issues in the body. We can start to unlock challenges in the body through looking at the chart. Okay, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, so am I. Very looking forward to that.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, you're beautiful. That's what comes through. Just keep shining that beautiful energy, and it's going to be very successful. You're going to be very successful with it financially. I know you don't care, but it'll come.
I would need that first lady that you did tonight. I would need her friend assistant to help with videos because
There
I
you go.
too, I have no interest in the technologies and just getting on Zoom. I'm almost panicking. Too
Ah,
many things. It's not my thing. It's a
that's
generational
okay.
thing, I think, you know?
That's okay. That's okay. There's plenty of people who do that.
Yeah.
Plenty.
Yeah.
I'll share more with you about that. No problem.
Awesome.
No
Thank you
problem.
so much. So inspiring.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Oh, much
Mm,
love. Much
much
love.
love to you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, let's see here. I would like to call, is it Bibi? Coach, what is your beautiful wife's name?
It's Bibi.
Bibi, hi. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
You were born in Ecuador.
Yes,
Oh, beautiful. I've always wanted to go.
you'll be happy there. There is
I
much.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. I couldn't find a photo for you, so I found a beautiful orchid that grows there.
Oh, I
So,
love orchids. That's
is that familiar?
yeah.
Oh, beautiful. It's very nice to meet you. Welcome. I'm glad you're here.
Thank
Um,
you.
yes. So I know you missed last night's class, so this all feels and looks like Greek to you, but where the sun and moon will be aspecting your chart will be over here in what is called the 12th house. So the 12th house is it's maybe for a house that's more external, which is above the horizon line, it's much more internal. They often call it the house of meditation, the house of retreat, like spiritual retreat, the house of the guru. Okay, so it's like spiritual knowledge. It's spiritual awakening, spiritual awareness. So going on a spiritual retreat, spending time in nature, practicing meditation, reading a book like Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda, opening your spiritual eyes, praying to God, getting into prayer, getting into thankfulness, getting into gratitude. It's a very spiritual energy. It can also be a good time to, if you don't already, do some art, like watercolor. Like go buy like a set of watercolors and paper and sit down and watch the water. It's a water house. So it's an energy of getting in touch with the the spiritual energies, the flow of life, right? The intuitive, the sensitive, the psychic, right? So if you have psychic ability, this might be a time where it's heightened. You might get awarenesses. You might intuitively perceive things. You might tell coach, be like, boom, and he'll be like, because you receive an insight, right? And the divine feminine is so good at that, right? It's so natural for us to receive these insights. And so with the Venus, with the new moon, it might be a fun time to try and pick a lottery ticket, right? Because Jupiter, it's the 12th house of intuition and psychic ability. And so it's very heightened for you, your intuition and your psychic ability. So it might be a very powerful time to pick a lottery ticket and say, oh, right. And since this is falling in Coach's house of romance and love, you might be the one who brings in some extra abundance, right? Because you are
Yes.
love. So that might be fun, right? You might do something where you could use your intuition to get an answer, like playing the lottery. You might practice getting answers, asking questions and then listening. You might get in tune with water, like going to the ocean is a very good thing right now, like just listening to the water, listening to the vibration of water, getting in touch with flow. You know, what is flow? What is beingness? The 12th house is not of this world. It's not of this world. It's about the return to our own essence, right? The flowing of all the rivers to the ocean, right? So the 12th house is the great return. And since you have Aries here, It means that you eventually, you might not know this now, but one day you might feel called to actually lead others around spirituality, around prayer, around intuition. You might have a very strong intuition, and you might be able to assist others who maybe don't listen as much, right? Because the 12th house is all listening. It's all about listening. It's very feminine. It's very receptive. It's yin, right? So you know the yin yang symbol, right? The yin is the black part and the yang is the white part. The yang is doing, yin is receiving. And so you might find yourself focusing on receiving right now. So it's a good time for coach to give, if that makes sense. That's the natural way of things. Yeah.
Yep.
We do our best. We do our best. You're doing great. All doing great. No problem. No problem. Okay. And so the ruling planet of Aries is Mars. And so your Mars is in Leo, which is shining. It's shining. Okay. It's action. And so your action energy expresses itself very well in the house of communication and in the house of like your neighbors, your friends, your colleagues. It's a great house for really expressing yourself in that fashion. Going to the store. You're great at going to the store. You're great at connecting to your neighbors. You're great to connect with the people, your family, your sister, your brother, those that are close to you. You do a lot of communication. You talk on the phone a lot, right? You share information. There's a strong family network, and you take a lot of action. And you shine as taking a lot of action to create communication across the family. Right? So you do a lot of speaking and, you know, this and said this, and then there's just a lot of communication between the family that you kind of lead. And you shine as that role of sort of leading that connection for everyone. Yeah. But your destiny point, what you're here for in this lifetime, is beautiful, is in Cancer, which is the home, which is the mother, which is emotion. And so you're really here for that. You're really here for family. You're really here to be that mother, that emotionally nurturing, supportive woman. And it might be challenging for you because your past self, what you sort of started life with, is the business person, which is very structured, very disciplined, very unemotional, very authoritative, very strong. And so what you're learning is how to be more emotional, how to be more receptive, how to be more water and less earth, how to be less resistant and more flowing. Yeah. So you have a whole lifetime. Okay. You don't have to do it tonight. It's just a pointer of how this may be beneficial for you to like, okay, emotion is good.
Yes.
Feeling is good. Let it flow. Let yourself feel. It's all beautiful. It's part of the process. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions?
No, you just described me. I mean, it's like you know me already.
It's pretty weird, right? Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
it is pretty weird. Yeah, because everything that you said, yeah, it is. I am very intuitive. It's like I see things happening and also the family. Yeah, I always calling, I should say. I mean, it's like you told me everything. It's amazing.
I really make sure my students have a lot of integrity because this tool is so powerful that once you know how to use it, you can literally meet anyone and have this kind of conversation where they're saying, hey, one of my clients said, did you record a movie of my life and go sit and watch it before we talked on the phone? And I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing because I know it's bizarre, but I'm doing this so that I can assist you. It's not about me. I don't, you're all beautiful, right? I see you all as just beautiful, beautiful souls. And how cool that this chart can give us so much information. We're barely scratching the surface with all of you. Just just little tastes of what this chart can show you, because I'm really passionate about all of you finding out the power of this chart. I want you all to really grasp what's possible with this so that you can use it, right? So you feel inspired to use it. So awesome to meet you, Vivi. It's beautiful. Many blessings to both you and Coach. And I hope that you go on some amazing dates in the ocean. I'm seeing the ocean. I'm seeing you shoes off in the sand and a beautiful meal, and Coach galloping through the sand, happy and excited and free, my friend.
Yeah, I want to see that too. I want to
Yes.
see.
We'll make sure it happens.
Yes, it will. It will. Thank you so
No,
much.
no pressure, Coach. No pressure at all. I'm gonna hear about this later.
That's in the cards, you know that, right?
I know. I can't help it. The truth just comes out of me, and I go, I can't believe what I just said. Oh God, I hope they forgive me. I pray. I pray. But you know, my intention is always good. It's always love. It's always the highest for all of you. It's just pure love. And it's just so awesome to have a tool like this. I feel like a child at the sandbox, and I have this toy that's like, look, did you guys see what it just did? It's so cool. So thank you for helping me show this to the world. It's a blessing. It really, really is. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so Odie, Anna, Patrice, you ready? Oh, thank you, Christy. Thank you. Well, love is all there is in this crazy world that tries to deny it at every turn. Such an illusion. Okay, let's see here. Miss Patrice, it was so nice to talk with you last night. You have such a refreshing, from Virginia, Southern gal, just down to earth. I love speaking with you. It's awesome. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you, Lotus.
Yeah. I love accents, and I love meeting people from all over. It's just like I just get like giddy like a I'm just so happy. It's so
I'm
great.
glad you like it. I've been trying to change it, but I don't think it's going anywhere.
I've heard that from almost everyone with an accent. I'm like, no, your accent is like, it's like music to my ears. Like, it's just, it's so refreshing to hear people speaking in different ways.
Yeah.
It really, really is. So tonight, the new moon is happening in your 4th house and your 5th house. In fact, 1, 2, 3, see, 10. It's more in your 5th house, actually, than your 4th. So romance, we're the same as Coach Gio over here. We got romance, we've got hobbies, children, creativity. It's a house of fun, right? So the sign that rules the 5th house is Leo. The Leo's up here. This outer circle is always changing, right? Based on the time and location you were born. The inner circle, always the same. So you can always go to the inner circle to decode what sign is associated with that house. And so the 5th house is associated with Leo, yellow and yellow. It's color coded. Isn't that nice? Someone took some crayons and colored it for us, right? So Leo, what is Leo? Leo is the lion, right? And the lion is courageous, right? The lion is, think about a pack of lions, right? Mom and the dad and the cubs, they're always like playing and cuddling, and it's kind of this like joyful life force expression. And so the 5th house relates to our life force expression. What do we love to do? What are our hobbies? What do we love? And the part of the body, this is going to be really awesome for tomorrow, because we're going to go into what parts of the body are associated with what signs. This is just freaking phenomenal. When we get this, everything changes in terms of our comprehension of the chart. So the part of the body that the 5th house relates to is the heart. El Corazon, right? Because Leo is ruled by the heart, or the heart rules Leo. That's the body part associated with Leo. So love, heart, right? It's courage, it's bravery, it's the courage and bravery to shine our love. You know, think about the lion shining his might. It's love, right? It's pure God presence, but it is mighty, right? With that huge hair and that regal stance, right? That is Leo energy. And it also, you know, they're playful, right? They play with their cubs. They, you know, they have joy. And so the fifth house really relates to where are we having joy in our lives? How are we having fun? What are our hobbies? What do we love to do? It's under the horizon. So this relates to us being much more internal, much more connected to something inside of us. Okay. It's a beautiful energy. It's a beautiful energy of playfulness, having fun, not being so serious. I always think of like summer camp when I think of the fifth house, right? We go to summer camp and we have fun. We do activities, we paint, we draw, we go rowing on the lake, we swim, we dive off the swing, right? So that energy means an invitation for you to take some leadership action, and you might even make some money by doing things that are fun for you. What? I mean, you got the two abundance planets. You've got Venus conjunct in your fourth house here. So something you do at home could be some way that the billionaire energy is affecting you, right? And then you've got the millionaire planet in the house of fun. So home and fun. And how cool is that? Because you don't have to go anywhere. You could just kind of, what do I love to do? And what could I do from home as a leader? Aries is leadership energy that could bring in a lot of money. To learn more about this, we can look at where is your Mars, because Mars rules Aries and you've got Mars in Capricorn. So Mars in Capricorn in the second house of money, interesting. Capricorn is business. Having a business from home, potentially, where you lead something. So you lead best from home and with your children. Interesting. And in your love life. That's where your leadership energy really shows up, as well as with business and entrepreneurship and being like a CEO around making money, like the structure of money. You're real practical, right? You're real practical. You're real down to earth. What are the steps? What is it going to take? You know, you have a real cut to the chase, take charge attitude, especially around building your foundation, building your wealth, building businesses. You might be able to help other people with their money. You might be able to make a business out of helping people manage their money. I don't know where that's coming from, but that's what's coming through for you.
So you said Pluto's in Capricorn, right?
Yeah.
So that's really tearing that. Yeah.
Well, it's in your first house. It's not in the money house. It's in the first house of identity. It's around looks. It's around personality.
Thought you said Capricorn was in my second house?
It's covering two houses here. So
okay.
The first half of it is in the first house right here. And the second half is right here in the second. So Pluto's right about here, very close to your Juno, which is your asteroid of marriage. So there may be something around your past relationships or marriages that have affected your identity that may come up over the next 4 months for you to heal and release, which will operate in creating more ease and peace in your marriage or potential future marriage, as well as creating more ease and grace in how you present yourself and how you share yourself with people. It's kind of like this deep process will result in a very deep healing where, like you said, it's like a rebirth. And it going retrograde again just recently could have been like a whoa, here we go again. Like, here's another little layer. I know that was for me. I mean, the day it went retrograde, I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
I was like, what just happened? I was like, this stuff is real. It affects us. So that's why us building our own center, energy wise, our daily habits, our daily rituals, our daily practices are so crucial, because those things do have effect. Are we going to be at effect though, or are we going to be at cause? So we don't want to use astrology to be at effect. We want to be in charge. So we can be aware of what's happening, but we're not letting it push us off our track. And that's one reason I like to follow it, because I'm like, oh, that energy is going to be pushing me. Okay. Ooh, right. And then, you kind of set yourself up to handle that, because now you make the adversary visible, as opposed to just, I don't know what that was. Right? What was that? This gives us kind of like something to look at, and then we can wrestle with it. I don't think I ever said that to anyone before, maybe my grandpa. You're bringing out this like speak in me. I appreciate it. I like it. So so it's really a powerful time for you, and that could be why thinking about ways to make money from home as you're going through, when we first meet someone, we're usually contacting their ascendant. So whenever we have a major situation happening in our first house, like Pluto there, for instance, that's a fairly major thing. That's a fairly deep experience. And so if we have that happening, we need to set things up in other areas of our lives to support that process. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to be successful, and it doesn't mean we're not going to grow and evolve and like do everything we need to do. It just is being more kind. It's like, okay, that's how that project's going on over there. I'm going to set it up. I'm going to do everything I can for it. I'm going to allow it to work itself out. And in the meantime, maybe some kind of business at home. Capricorn is business. Ruler of Aries is Mars. You have Mars and Capricorn in the second house. You've got Venus, the billionaire planet, right between your house of home and fun and romance. Something that might involve children, fun, romance, home. I think you said you're a mom, so maybe there's something you might find yourself doing related to fun and children, and leading in some way that might bring in some kind of unexpected income. Or you might just get blessed, as you said, as you just go out and do your thing.
Mhm.
Magic be happening. I think that's like a lesson for all of you, like magic be happening. So just be conscious of that. Magic be happening. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a question?
So I already work from home,
Oh, you do? Okay.
but I work for somebody else.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
And so I'm thinking that I'm in this transition from working for someone else and moving into my own. But I've always had this wanting to work with people in shifting where their money is going.
Oh, wow.
Because we are moving into something new.
That's right.
And people are going to need resources with land and even attorneys, like there's going to be a lot of things coming around where we're really going to need financials. And if we don't have the money in place for that, you're going to be at a loss. So just really redirecting where it's going, who's it going to, why is it going there, asking all the questions and start shifting it, because we got to take the power back from and put it back into our own hands to redirect it to where we want it to go. not where they want it to go.
That's
So
right.
I've always wanted to like get into something like that. Because I'm seeing the future, like this is what we're gonna need. So
Your
yeah,
de-
you're right on. You're right on with that.
your destiny points in Aquarius, no less. And Aquarius is the new age and it's the future. And so you have a vision for the future. Girlfriend, I support you, and I know everyone else on this call supports you too, because what you just said was pure truth. Pure, absolute truth on fire, divine law, divine word coming through you. And you're probably being instigated and activated upon to take this action because of the timing.
Yep.
And that could be why you're on this call, to get that little nudge of like, yeah, it is time for me to step forward on my own track, because I have a vision and I have a purpose that maybe no one else is aware of, that I see, right? And I was talking to someone about, they're like, well, maybe you should just get another job or something. And I was like, what would you have said to Nikola Tesla or to Albert Einstein or any of these great inventors who saw something that other people didn't see? What if you were like, you should, go paint the walls, or, lay some concrete? And I was thinking about all of us out there with a vision that is literally God guided. And I just wanted to like give all of you out there with this vision encouragement to follow it, and to know that just because other people are small-minded and they just are stuck in the material universe and what they can see and taste in front of them, doesn't mean that your truth is any less powerful. Because dreams and desire, where do they come from? Are they even just ours? Or are they inspirations from a divine source that we are simply conduits for them?
Mm-hmm.
And then don't we need to have a little more respect for the source energy that inspires the dream and vision within us to come through? I mean, respect that vision in you. Respect that dream as it not just a silly dream, but Lord have mercy, you are being guided from something higher. And
It's
yeah,
interesting. I work in the insurance banking industry. It's kind of like, okay, it really is time for me to shift over into my own. So
we need as many people who have your skills, who also hold the vision for a different type of humanity, getting on the same boat, creating that same vision, because we will change the world. We are changing the world. The world is changing because all of you are changing. So I can't see anything more aligned than that for you with what I see in your chart. It just feels like it's time. And you've got Lilith right here in Aries in the 5th house. Lilith is a rebel. Lilith is straight rebel, and you've got it conjunct the moon today. So the moon is conjunct it. So you might be getting a lot of nurturing and nourishment around the ways in which you kind of want to rebel against how things are. You kind of want to take charge and go a different direction. And so I would say, do it. The world is asking for your help now, right? There's people who are ready for you. And with Jupiter going into Taurus, people are going to be buying a ton of land. They're going to be building all of these properties. Like, this is the time. This is like 0 point. This is like when it's all like the shovels hitting the earth and things are going to sprout like mushrooms after a rainstorm. So get out there, invest in this new nature awareness that's just proliferating, and technology. It's going to be nature awareness and technology, because Uranus, the planet of technology and innovation and invention, is also conjunct that Jupiter in Taurus. And so it's going to be expansion of what's possible with the earth, and also the invention of things like a synthesizer that you plug into a tree and you can hear vibrational sounds from that plant or tree. Like, that's what Jupiter, Uranus, and Taurus energy looks like. It's like a computer with the plants, essentially. So you got this. You got this. You do it. I will call you up for some support someday because I know what you're going to do is going to be amazing. There are so many new age folks who are going to need exactly what you're saying. Exactly. So catch that boat. I encourage you. I really, really do. Yeah.
Thank you, Lotus. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
Go Patrice. You rock. You rock. You doing so good. I love it. So many beautiful divine feminines waking up to their power. It's just absolutely beautiful. Woo! That is some powerhouse energy. Tell you what. Okay, let's see here. Christy, I don't know if I have your chart, my friend. I pretty much what I've realized is that I can't keep charts indefinitely because charts are literally soul maps. So it's like I'm keeping these like gateways to people's souls in my computer and I just can't do it. I'm like, I'm sorry. So if you've come to my events before and you want to come, just shoot me an email with your birth info. I can make your chart. If you want to come tomorrow night, Christy, I can make your chart up. I would imagine that this new moon is probably affecting your 6th house of health, is what my guess would be. Like health and healing and the body. And I will send everyone's charts tonight. I think I forgot yours, Patrice. I'm sorry. I was like, who? Like I have my eyes. I was like, who did I need to send a chart to last night? So thank you for bearing with me. And then we have one more guest with us. We have, is it Liz Sama? Yes. Would you like to unmute my beautiful friend? We've got Coach Sama's sister here with us. We got to meet his beautiful wife and now his beautiful sister. How we get so lucky. Where are you at?
Where I'm at?
Yes.
Florida.
Oh, beautiful. I see you were also born in Ecuador.
Yes, I am.
Oh, that's beautiful. I would love to go there one day. It's just seems like a beautiful land. So if you want to learn more about what is actually happening in your astrological chart, because I know when you first look at these things, most people want to run for the hills. They're like, I don't even like it makes you dizzy if you don't know what it's saying. So last night we kind of took it slow and we broke down all the structure, right? So it's really easy for someone to be like, oh, okay, that's what we're looking at. But essentially what we're seeing in a chart is what was happening at the moment you were born in the sky. So the middle line represents the horizon line, like the Earth. And if you were to be standing on that at the moment of your birth, these were all the planets that were up in the sky as you were born. The left is the eastern horizon, and the right is the western horizon. Okay, and so if you have more planets up top, you tend to be more external and more outgoing, right? You have like a bigger soul mission. You have a bigger purpose out in the world. And then if you have more planets underneath, you're more internal. Your purpose is tend to be closer to home, to friends, to family. Okay. So you have a lot up top. So that tells me you probably have a big purpose, right? You probably have a big path. You probably have big energy that wants to go outward into the world. And so what can happen when people have a lot of energy to go outward is that if you're not following that, you can get depressed or frustrated or irritated because it's like the energy turns on you because that energy is actually for the giving, right? That energy is actually to give out to the world. And so when we're not giving it, we suffer, which is not very fun. So I definitely see you having a big purpose because the top of the chart is known as the midheaven. It's known as like the star of the Christmas tree. The bottom of the chart is like the family. It's the roots. The right side is relationship, and the left is our individuality. So when you have so many up top, this is the midheaven. It's the purpose. Okay, and so that means shining your gifts out to the world. So you have your sun conjunct the midheaven, but it's in Ophiuchus, which is the 13th sign. Ophiuchus tends to like to be very secretive. And the reason for this is that Ophiuchus is very powerful. It's very wise. It's the energy of the sacred divine mysteries. And so when people have Sun in Ophiuchus, you may have had extensive training, if you believe in past lives or not. I often talk about past lives where you were an initiate and you were trained in how to work with energy. And that could have been as a shaman, it could have been as a priestess. And so it's challenging in our society. Where do the shamans go now? Right? Where is the space for the shaman? And when I tune into your energy, I just get shaman. Like I just get like you have such a deep spiritual awareness and connection to the invisible realm. And most people can't even talk about it. They don't even know it exists. It's happening all around them and they don't even know. And so for you, it could have been that this lifetime has just been like, gosh, like, where is my tribe? Like, where is my family? Where is my community? So that I can do what I'm here to do, which is probably to lead others into illumination, which, no big deal or anything, no big deal. And so you have a big purpose. And so when you have a big purpose, you also tend to have big challenges because source, universe is propelling you into your mysticism. It's propelling you into your gifts. And those challenges become the growth spots for you to jump forwards and to become your highest and best self. Yeah. So, I want to applaud you because this is not, this is not a small path. This is not a small purpose. This is big. This is very, very big. So I hope you come tomorrow so we can dive deeper into this specific aspect. But tonight, I just want to share with you that your new moon is happening in the end of the second and into the third. So communication, networking, information, right? So you're coming to a class. So that's like very fitting. Learning. The Venus is conjunct. Oh my gosh, your Chiron is conjunct Venus, the sun, and the moon. And so Chiron is called the wounded healer. So this might be a bit of a sensitive or tender time for you. Chiron, the wound in Aries, when you have Chiron in Aries, the wound can be in leadership. And so there could have been a past life where you were a leader and like something went very bad. And for many of us who were leaders, yes, that happened quite a lot. Like, yeah, who wants to step up and be a leader? Like, it's not a super easy place to be. Stuff went wrong. Like, it did not go good all the time. And then you're responsible for it all, right? And so Chiron and Aries can relate to a wounding around leadership. And so the thing I want to say to you is like, you are a leader. You're here to lead, and that whatever sensitivity or vulnerability is coming up for you around your leadership, please just know that as you heal it, as you hold it, as you love and allow it, you heal. And the compassion comes through and the grace comes through, and then you're going to transform other people's lives because you'll have the compassion of like, I know just how painful it is to lead after you've gone through something where you maybe didn't lead it. It didn't go as well as you wanted it to. So how do we regain our leadership when we've been hurt? Right? When we've like, oh, I don't know if I believe in my abilities anymore. And that's that moment of taking action despite it. And you have a beautiful brother who's so involved in leadership and taking action, like, coach, just hold some space for her around that. Like, hold some compassion for her. Like, it might be a little bit more vulnerable for her to claim that leadership, but I see her. She's a very strong leader. Very, very, very strong. And so there can also be some fear around taking that leadership on and truly standing in it, right? With great power comes great responsibility. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. So stepping into that, owning it, so that you can help to build wealth through your leadership, right? Aries in the second house of wealth. As you lead, you may be able to make money through your leadership ability. You're a natural leader. You might even be able to assist others who have been hurt, reclaiming their leadership. And it's a beautiful, tender thing. You know, when you sit with someone who's been a leader, or like a wounded soldier, right? Who's come home after losing a limb and they can't walk. And you sit with them and you help them heal from that. I mean, you don't always help them. It's a long time. It's a big process. It's like a lifetime of love and support. But there's something so tender about holding space for the warrior that's been wounded in whatever capacity. It can be spiritually, it can be mentally, it can be emotionally. But holding the hand, or of a woman who's been wounded, but holding the hand of that person, encouraging them to step back into their leadership, to step back into courage, to step back into love. Yeah. Yeah. So I would be like gentle with yourself tonight and over the next 2 weeks. And I would ask myself, I would invite you to ask yourself, how can I step more into my leadership? How can I heal any vulnerability I have around being a leader? How can I communicate more in a way that assists others to step forward? Because you have these gifts. You really have some gifts here. You really do. And we'll go more into that in the next couple of days as this challenge continues. But you have some very powerful spiritual gifts. And often when we have very powerful spiritual gifts, they can be misconstrued. People don't understand them. They don't know how to accept them. They don't know how to receive them. And then you're sitting there just being so aware, so conscious, and yet like no one can see you. And that can be a very painful place. And so learning how to love those parts of yourself and own them for what they are and reclaim. I feel like watching the movie Moana. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
I'm seeing you watching it and just like seeing yourself like the heart of the earth.
Yeah.
And you're like claiming back that green jewel back to your heart. And for all women watching this, right? Wherever that heart, right? Because Moana she was like a leader, wasn't she? She was like very powerful. She was very in her warriorship energy. And at the end of the movie, she reclaimed her green. She got the green heart and she gave it back to the Earth Mother. Right? And I feel like the divine feminine is calling in that divine heart back. It's been gone, but it needs to come back. And so many of us who are tuned into that are part of bringing that divine feminine essence back to this earth. What do you mean? It didn't go anywhere. Oh, maybe it did. Maybe we've been searching for it to come back for a long time. For a long time. And so that's what's happening now, is the divine feminine is returning to this planet. What? She's been here the whole time. Well, yes, but in what way? Has it been balanced? Has it been balanced between feminine and masculine? Well, it's gone like this, you know, it's gone like this, up and down, right? And so there's a balancing happening. And that's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing. So with that, beautiful souls, and
Thank you.
Sama, you are so welcome. I'm excited to get to know you better. I'm glad you all came on here tonight. I'm going to stop share, and I'm going to just want to invite you all to just take a moment to just get into your heart and just say a little prayer with me. And just say a little prayer around this new moon time. Christy, send me your birthday after this, and I'll let you know where this new moon is, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Of course. You're all such beautiful souls. This earth is calling us to step into our divine leadership. It's calling us to step into love. It's calling us to step into loving ourselves. I just want to call on the energy of divine love, unconditional love. And just ask for a beautiful, unconditional love, healing, and blessing for you, for all beings, through all directions of time and space. And I'm seeing you all connecting to your vision. What is your vision? What is your dream? What is it that you wish to have in your life from your heart and your soul? And I'm just calling upon God, Source, Universe, the divine creator, connecting to the divine oneness of all that is. And just set your intention for that which you wish to create in your life, within your world, within all worlds. And just asking for complete, unconditional love healing for you and for all beings through all directions of time and space. And we're going to rub our hands together and we're going to move some energy. And we're just going to command that any blockages, any resistance, any fear getting in the way of us creating this dream, from making it real, from bringing it through to fruition, we're just going to ask for a complete change history and everything, every level, levels 1, 2, and 3, releasing and letting go of any resistance to us achieving our dreams. So see yourself in the future. See yourself having already achieved your dream, your goal, your desire. Okay? And then ask your superconscious self to tune into any resistance you may have, or fear, or anxiety, or doubt, or any negative emotion around your ability to achieve this, around your ability to have this. And then we're just going to ask the superconscious. Thank you to Chris Duncan for his work with the superconscious mind. We're going to ask the superconscious to please code, tag, and treat any fear or resistance around us stepping into this new reality version of ourselves. Tag and treat, do a complete change history and everything as needed, levels 1, 2, and 3, and take a nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out. We ask the superconscious to repair and heal your front chakras, your back chakras, your dantians, all levels and layers of your body and being through all directions of time and space. And then take all that energy, and on the count of 3, we're just going to throw it on up, anything blocking us from our dreams. 1, 2, 3, send it on up. Oh. We just ask for divine, pure, unconditional love blessing to shower over us, showering our heart space. Then stretch your arms out wide and just feel this big hug. I'm going to squeeze the person to my left and the person to my right. Hey, guys. And I'm just going to amplify your dream from the heart, from my heart to your heart. We're just going to amplify each other's dreams, seeing them get bigger, more beautiful, more expansive, and feel this hug around the earth, sending love and healing through the whole planet. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Woo! And then send your heart up. Ah, and then just shower yourself down and just feel that divine love coming through you back to your heart, and just feeling that expansion, that love, that joy, seeing your dream happening, present. It's you already. You're living it. And just saying a prayer that may all beings on this earth be happy, be healthy, be free, and may all of your dreams come true with ease and joy and glory. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you, God. It is done. May you go with God. May you go with grace. May all of your dreams come true. The new moon is happening at 8:21. Have a beautiful night, my friends. And I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to go over the body and how the astrological chart relates to every part of our body and how we can use it to diagnose, to treat, and to reveal issues or challenges that our body may be having and get to our optimal best health possible. So I love you all. You're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for being here. And may you have a blessed, beautiful new moon, knowing that you are divinely loved.
Thank you. Thank you.
Aloha, my friends. See you soon. Leave your comments, comment, share. I'd love to hear about how tonight was for you, okay? Mwah.